supposed to be doing?
You got to go out there and make friends.
Ooh, that's a bad way to live your life, man, because you should think everybody
We're not living our life that way.
Apart.
Dude, who the fuck's living their life that way? We have a goal. Remember?
Yes. Listen, and everybody's trying to help carry each other's crosses, okay?
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
I'm just going to assume that everybody is subpar and sensitive, okay? Is that it?
You call me sensitive again, I will get in the fucking car down there right now.
Man, I feel like there needs to be a case study done on Sarah Boone. She needs to be taught across the psychology courses amongst every college in America, okay? Because she's one hell of a phenomenon. You cannot please this woman if you gave your life to her. And literally someone lost their life to her and he couldn't satisfy her. You couldn't satisfy this woman for anything. She always wants more, and she always feels like she's the victim. That's the ickiest, nastiest part about it. She feels like she's the victim in all of this, okay? We are coming back to the Sarah Boone situation with another fresh installment, man. And this time, it is her and Julian discussing her losing her, 15th, 16th attorney at this point. Now, if you guys recall, Julian and Peter had set up an attorney for Sarah Boone for her family court situation. And the attorney did say, yes, I will represent her. Everybody was like, cool, let's go ahead and meet her. One day after meeting Sarah Boone, the lawyer took to the hills, ran away, retreated into the mountains and became a monk. You know what I'm saying? Disappeared without a trace. I wonder why that is, okay? So Sarah Boone sees this happen, and she sends Peter and Julian a very long-winded email. So I'm going to show you quick parts of this email and then what Julian had to say back. And let me tell you, he made her sound like a f***ing fool. And I love that. Let's go ahead and check this out. So Sarah comes on the scene and she sends her long-winded, always passive-aggressive email. Everything I've ever seen from Sarah Boone has been passive-aggressive. I've never seen any conversation back and forth between Sarah Boone and anybody where there wasn't an element of passive-aggressiveness to it. So let's go ahead and see what she had to say. She said, fair warning, you're not going to at all like this message. Sorry, but not. What are you, a 16-year-old in high school? You're a 16-year-old girl in high school? Sorry, not sorry. I'm really going to give you a piece of my mind now. Over it and honestly don't care. I'm used to nothing and no one. Just another day in prison with blank. I don't know what the blank is. If you go to the transcribed version, it says illness, and I don't understand what illness she's talking about, but she's always bitching about being sick. Lady, listen, you got bigger issues than that. But anyways, let's see what she had to say. I'm not going to read this entire email because it's extremely long-winded, and she gets into her lists. But before we get to the list, I want to show you what she has to say about the lawyer disappearing. Of course, Katie bailed. That's what all my attorneys do. I wonder why. All of them I've ever had. Now you know why I picked up on all her sighing. Nothing new. It's fucked up. And the last words out her mouth was, I'm willing to take. I don't know what. She has a superpower to run people away. I don't know what she told her. But whatever it was is superhero levels of repulsiveness. Like you're like a magnet that's always set to repel. You know what I mean? It's quite fascinating. Always the short end of the straw after I'm promised all the straws. My life, always. I get excited for nothing anymore. Why should I? Life in prison? With blank? No lie, in all seriousness, what is the point? To go through all the anguish of trial, ridicule, embarrassment, shame, otherworldly sadness. For what? To go through all that again? Maybe 30 years. 20 instead of life? Come on. So I can drudge through my 65-year-old life figuring out how to get a car? A job? somewhere to live, a relationship with my son. I missed his entire life. Milestones, high school, driving, girlfriends, soon to be guardian, soon to be graduation, college, marriage, baby. Anything from my dead family's legacy to show my son existed? Pets? Okay, I'm done. Oh my God, she's just wallowing in her own sadness, man. It's quite beautiful. It's quite beautiful to see, man. And I think when the blank out is like whatever she's dealing with, they just don't want us to know what sickness she's fighting or whatever, right? But let's just say she has like a little situation where she needs medication now. I feel like that plus the fact that she's never going to get out of jail is really fucking with her psyche right now, because it's almost like her life is flashing before her eyes. She's talking about all the things that never worked out for her. Maybe she can get out in 30 years. She's trying to visualize it. Sweetheart, you're not going to get out in 30 and you're not going to get out in 20, unfortunately. You could have been on your way out. It could have been like a couple more years you would have been home. But unfortunately, you're going to be in there forever. It sucks. It really, I can't fathom it, man. Shit. And I don't want to fathom it. Because if I have to fathom it, that means I'm living it. And Sarah's doing that quite well for me. I don't need to think about it because she's already doing all the thinking for me about it. And then she moves forward into her letter. I'm not really going to read all of this, but she starts listing out things that they've told her before, it seems like. And, you know, it's like she puts them in little sections. It's not in the best legal position. Probably they're telling her she's not in the best legal position to be demanding certain things. She goes down, me being quote unquote realistic, and then she has another rebuttal to that, and then she goes down, her being frustrating. Let's read that one. Frustrating. No one knows my frustration, nor will ever. Almost beaten to death, but oh wow. Of course we go to the most vile one, to where she's completely radicalizing George. She said almost beaten to death by raping, raging, now dead boyfriend, now being beaten to death, life in prison by the justice system, former quote-unquote husband, and hating world till I take my last meaningless breath. I will die frustrated. Damn. That's kind of dark, you know. You know, we're making jokes this whole time, but that right there is kind of dark because I believe her. She is probably going to die one of the most frustrated people who lived, you know? It was just a frustrating life. Let's get to what Julian had to say, because Julian, I'm pretty sure, saw this email scratching his fucking head, and he was like, you know what, let me call this bitch up. I'm just assuming that's what he said. I'm not putting the words in his mouth. Let's see what he had to say.
Hello.
I'm calling you back. Well, I went down to medical. Did you not get that message?
You notice how she answers the phone for Pete. Hi Pete, how are you doing? Peter, I love you. So you're okay? Are you safe? Are you driving? Should I call you back? Okay, Peter. So let's talk. So my lovely, let's speak about it. When she calls Julian, I'm calling you back. Okay, goddamn.
Recording.
Hello.
I'm calling you back. Well, I went down to medical. Did you not get that message?
No.
Okay, well, I had a call out for a medical that I didn't know I was on.
Oh shit.
I went down there and they said that, my second blood work came back for negative about whatever it was they were testing it for, but then also, so I have to have 2 more ultrasounds, so I just wanted you to know that.
Okay.
That's whatever it is, just
Yeah.
whatever they got to do. I'm just happy that it's on the state's dime and not mine, so.
That's right. There you go. This is an opportunity to switch that thing 180, you know.
Yeah, you know, it's a beautiful thing that you can leech off of the taxpayer to get your medical bills handled. Lovely work, Sarah. Lovely work. You know, just like how you leeched off of your boyfriend, now you're leeching off the state or her ex-husband. It's really crazy how she made that graceful transition. She went from leeching off of her ex-husband to leeching off of James and Julian and the state. And all the other people overseas for some reason who support her. Just a world-class parasite.
Just pretty awesome. Just
See that it's on the state's dime and not mine, so.
That's right. There you go. This is an opportunity to switch that thing 180, which is pretty awesome.
But look, okay, first off, what do you think my goal is?
Your goal overall is to get out of there.
Yep. And to
Yep.
have a house or somewhere to live and get my car back and first and foremost get my son back in my life and eventually have a pet and just like try to be somewhat normal. And that's my priority and what comfortable. Yes, that's what that is my goal, is to get the fuck out of prison. And like my thing is with the documentary where it's like
Whoa, Sarah, hold on. Whoa, sweetie. You're asking for way too much. You want to get out of jail. You want to get a house. So obviously we're going to start a GoFundMe for Sarah Boone after she gets out of jail because she was wrongfully convicted, right? So we're going to start grifting for you because you want a house. You want a pet too. Man, listen, didn't your other animals die because you're an alcoholic and they got left in the house? Didn't your other handicapped animals die because you're a shitty owner? I don't think that's a good idea. You're asking for a little too much. You're asking for way too much, actually. Man, 35 years would be lenient, and they're not going to do that. I think when you get life out there, it's just life. So, good luck on that. This ain't California.
my car back and first and foremost get my son back.
Oh, and she wants her car back. Oh, my God. A house, a car. Man, listen, make her a celebrity while you're at it.
What do you think my goal is?
Your goal overall is to get out of there.
Yep. And to have a house or somewhere to live and get my car back and first and foremost get my son back in my life and eventually have a pet and just like try to be somewhat normal. And that's my priority and what comfortable. Yes, that's what that is my goal, is to get the fuck out of prison. And like my thing is with the documentary where it's like, I think you guys care more about what other people think about me than I myself do. And that's what I think the whole point of you guys trying to make this for me is to either, I don't know, just try to make other people see me from the...
Let me speed run that for you, Sarah. It's the profit off of you, okay? They're trying to profit off of you like you're trying to profit off of them, okay? This is the real world. Wake up. This is not a Disney movie where people are just coming out to be whimsical fairies that support a murderous psychopath like yourself. It's not going to happen, okay? They're trying to make a profit off of you, okay? So all the oops and boops and beepity boops that you're doing, trying to get around the fact of what's actually happening, it's just mental gymnastics. Cut that shit out. Lock in. Give them the information or don't. We haven't had a damn thing useful. I know they sent her a questionnaire, but we ain't heard it yet.
I think you guys care more about what other people think about me than I myself do. And that's what I think the whole point of you guys trying to make this for me is to either, I don't know, just try to make other people see me from the point of view where I think you guys see me. But I still don't think that you guys know me 100%. Like, you're close to it, but you're more than half. But I think you guys care more about what other people think about me than I do. So
unfortunately, I'm going to have to ask you to think the same way as us. I don't care overall. If you don't like me, I don't give a shit. We do care what judges think. We do care what the attorneys think. Because I can tell you one thing, if we continue on the direction that we're going right now, you will not achieve your goal.
how so? Where's your crystal ball? So
Because
you want me to conform?
Because, okay, let's do an exercise real quick, just for the hell of it, okay?
Treating her like a little child. Let's do an exercise real quick. I like Julian. That he was like, bitch, if you don't straighten up, you're not gonna get no goals completed. Okay? Oh, so you want me to conform? Where's your crystal ball? Oh my God. We all understand why Sarah Boone has never been anything in life. Even if she wasn't an alcoholic, she wouldn't get anywhere. Because in terms of If you want to get somewhere in life, you have to be able to work with people. She's unworkwithable. That's the new word I coined before a couple months ago. She's unworkwithable, bro. You cannot work with her. Anything you say, if you say left, she says right. If there's only straight, she's gonna say take a soft left in the straight. She's going to always fight back against what you say, and it's disgusting. I hate it. Where's your crystal ball? The crystal ball is the 15 attorneys who magically dissipated from your defense, Sarah. That's the crystal ball.
We do care what the attorneys think, because I can tell you one thing: if we continue on the direction that we're going right now, you will not achieve your goal.
How so? Where's your crystal ball?
Because,
so you want me to conform?
Because, okay, let's do an exercise real quick, just for the hell of it, okay? We had an attorney prepared to come and defend us. For whatever reason, she has a conversation with you, and now she's gone. Because for whatever reason, she didn't get a sense from you that she wanted to work and fight for you.
You think that's me? Do you think that that's me and I said something?
No,
I told you she sighed the entire time.
That's what we have to change. Because we want her, who gives a fuck if she sighs?
Because that means that she doesn't care enough. But that doesn't, I got the vibe she didn't care enough.
That means she doesn't care enough. I got the vibe because she sighed. You know, she sighed, so I got the vibe that she didn't care enough. So I chewed her head off, and then she didn't want to work for me anymore. Julian, you don't bring Peter back. I like Peter more. Bring Peter back. He just agrees with me. Julian, no. Constructive criticism, no. It's overloading. It's overloading. Oh. That's how these women act.
Because we want her. Who gives a fuck if she sighs?
Because that means that she doesn't care enough. But that doesn't. I got the vibe she didn't care enough. That's why I was like, why don't?
I can guarantee you. So going forward, we're not going to make those assumptions anymore. Listen. You went through 8 on the first time around. We just went through 1 right now. You gotta believe me.
No,
when you
have to settle.
You're gonna have to fucking settle.
No, man.
You want to achieve your goals.
One way or another, obviously, yes.
Okay. In order for you to achieve your goals, you are going to have to settle. They go hand in hand.
Okay, so wait. So my understanding is from both.
Okay, so wait. Hold on. Okay, so wait. The alcohol content in my brain that ruined my neurons is causing me to not fully understand this. Okay, so wait. Wait. So you can't just bring like another attorney for me to turn away? Okay, so wait. Hold on. I can't go through at least 3 more attorneys just to be sure. No, I can't. You don't have endless resources for me to do that? No, you don't. You don't. Darn it.
Okay, so wait. So my understanding is from both of those comments, number 1 about Kate, it was my fault, and number 2, all of my other.
Why do you immediately do that? You immediately say, I'm saying it's your fault. No.
Because you're not explaining the reason why. I don't even know the conversation that you and Kate had between one another.
It doesn't matter the reason why.
It does, because I sit here wondering, thinking it's me.
The outcome is what matters, not the reason why.
The last thing out of her mouth. The last thing out of her mouth was, I'm willing to take this. And yes, you have a lot of options.
Yeah, well, she changed her mind.
That's what I don't understand, because my confusion is, what did you say? That's why I'm like, well, how?
It was what? Oh no, Julian, what did you do? What did you do, Julian? You fucked it up. It clearly wasn't the meeting that you and the attorney had. I'm trying to think. What I'm trying to find out is, what did you do, Julian? What did you tell her? Because everything was peachy creamy peachy. This bitch is crazy. I mean, this lady is crazy, bro. Holy shit! You could tell Julian's kind of losing his sanity. Like he's right at the edge of his own sanity dealing with this woman. Everybody knows this because of you, Sarah. And you're acting completely oblivious. Where's your crystal ball? Bro, this is the one thing on this planet to where we don't have to waste our time with a crystal ball. We could just look at the pattern. You fuck everything up.
I didn't even speak to her. I got a text message. She called me afterwards. She just said, I just don't feel comfortable going for it because her and I had a good rapport. Then she called me and she says, another part of the reason is don't want any publicity around my family and my kids and all that. And I said, okay, that's fair.
Well, she should have thought about that beforehand.
She didn't know you beforehand. It was her husband who knew. She didn't know a thing about you. She doesn't do social media. She doesn't do all that other, all that shit.
Didn't tell her.
When you say your name, you figure she knew. She's an attorney
So you
for
guys
you.
just assumed.
Huh?
So you guys just assumed that she knew.
Same thing that you do. So yeah, I did assume.
So the whole thing was a waste of time. The whole thing was everybody's waste of time.
No. Well, who gives a shit? That's my time. It wasn't your time at that point. I'm the one who took, I took that responsibility. We're wasted. It doesn't matter, Sarah.
Listen. But let me tell you, it does matter.
Oh, they hate each other, man. They hate each other. Sarah's over there in Peter's ear like, hey, just cut Julian out. Just cut him out completely. I don't like Julian. Now we see why. He's out here. You know why? The problem is he seems to be a logical thinker. That never works out with a delusional, crazy person. You know what I mean? Like it's like oil and water. You spit a little bit of common sense, a little bit of mathematics, a little 1 + 1, and they start losing their minds because they don't work like that. They work off of emotions and delusion.
Because if I didn't spend 2+ hours on the phone with her and the dysfunction of being down there for a half a day, I would not have missed my interview to where I could have been moved to a different dorm on a different compound with air conditioning. But because I was on the phone with her and basically wasted my time, I missed that interview.
So that's why I'm
stuck here and hot as hell.
That sucked. But we're all having to do sacrifices here.
Okay. So keep going.
How about instead of automatically assuming that the person doesn't give a shit about you, why not speak to them in a manner so they start giving a shit?
Well, if they weren't talking to me in the first
place. See, hold on. You see how it kind of stumped her real quick? She was like, holy fuck, that logic is logicking. It's beating my ass. She paused for a full 1.5 locomotives right there. She was like, yo, that logic hit me like a truck. I need delusion. I need to bring some delusion into this equation. Well, if they didn't look at me a certain way, I wouldn't have began my conversation like that.
Doesn't give a shit about you? Why not speak to them in a manner so they start giving a shit?
Well, if they weren't talking to me in the first place, then they obviously give a shit.
You told me that you assume. You told me that you assume nobody gives a shit about you. Nobody ever has given a shit about me my entire life. So that's how you approach things. You said.
Well, and you have to remember, I've been incarcerated for 5 years, so I know the different breeds of humans.
I know.
It's like they think that you're the best friend and they'll pray for you for a bag of fucking chips. And there's things that I want to say, but I'm going to hold off from the conversation because of the things that you've been telling me. So I just feel like there's things that I can't be 100% honest with you guys about because...
No, you can be honest.
Everybody's sensitive.
You're missing the point.
I'm not.
No, you are. It's not sensitive. You were insulting, Sarah. You insulted him.
That's how you guys took it. That's not how I meant it.
You want to do it?
He said here, Julian refers to a nasty email Sarah sent Peter that they spoke about on a prior call. Probably after Peter said he couldn't get that thing done for her. I forgot what it was, but she was so mad about it. Oh, they hurt Peter's feelings, bro. That's why Julian's talking to her. It all makes sense. They hurt Peter's feelings. Now you have to deal with Julian. You know what I mean? You're pushing everybody away. That's crazy. To the point where Julian had to call you. Oh God, what did she tell him? It was probably some vile shit.
You want to do an exercise? How about we have somebody who can have Lana, Nicole, we'll have somebody else read the email and see how they perceive it.
Just about it on the phone.
Just for the hell of it. Just for the exercise. We can do that. That's an option.
It's none of their business, number one.
I know, but I'm just saying, you're calling us sensitive. I think 99.9% of people would be like, that's kind of an insulting email.
How do you know that? How do you know that they understand me more than you guys do?
I don't know that. I'm saying that 99.9% of people will believe that that's an insulting email.
I want to see the email.
So how do they know that you're not just out for something from me? How do you know that they don't think that you guys are just out for me with a documentary? I wouldn't show that to them if I were you, because there's two different ways.
Listen, I'm making a point.
I don't understand what the point of saying it is.
Sarah, we're going to go through this thing, but you're going to learn very quickly and you're going to get frustrated. If anything, what you should do is start to observe a little bit more, just sit back and observe a little bit. We're going to start seeing history repeating itself if we continue the way
He's treating her like a damn child. This is like the lesson you teach your 11-year-old when they keep doing some dumb shit at school and they keep, getting in trouble for it. You know what I mean? It's almost like you're sitting them down and spoon feeding them the logic and hoping that they get it. Like, you see what happens when you do that? And then imagine if you do that again. What do you think would happen next? Probably the same thing, huh, buddy? Yeah. So the next time this situation appears, don't do that. And then a different outcome might happen. You see that, buddy? And then they're like, oh, yeah, cool. That's how he's spoon feeding it to Sarah. But Sarah's willfully ignorant. She's willfully stupid. She knows exactly what Julian's talking about. She just refuses to go down that route.
We got to make friends. I think that's the best way to put it. We got to make friends.
Listen.
We got to make some friends out there right now. Because friends can help. And they can help us and you.
I know. That's what you guys are. But I'm also not an ass kisser or a conformist either.
Okay, that's fine. So then let's be silent. Don't say things that can be considered insulting or aggressive or, and attorneys are a rare breed. They don't want too much work.
Clearly. And then they lie to get off the phone with you because they're afraid of what you might ask them next to do. That's what Kate did.
They want to go in 4 or 5 hours, make a few grand, get the fuck out. And we got to play ball.
I don't believe that, though.
Sarah, I'm not asking you to believe it. I'm asking you to do it.
Wait,
Trust
what am I
Peter.
supposed to be doing?
Huh?
What am I supposed to be doing? What am I supposed to be doing?
What do you mean, what are you supposed to be doing?
You said, I don't expect you to believe it, I expect you to do it. So what am I supposed to be doing?
You got to go out there and make friends.
Ooh, that's a bad way to live your life, man, because you should think everybody...
We're not living our life that way.
Oh, that's a bad way to live your life, man. You know what's the worst way to live your life? In prison for the rest of it. I would say that's the ultimate worst way to live your life. Ew, that's a bad way to live your life, man. Well, dude, you're in prison forever, so whoa. I would say that's a bad way to live your life too, yo.
I don't expect you to believe it, I expect you to do it. So what am I supposed to be doing?
You got to go out there and make friends.
Ooh, that's a bad way to live your life, man, because you should think everybody...
We're not living our life that way.
Apart.
Dude, who the fuck's living their life that way? We have a goal. Remember?
Yes. Listen, and everybody's trying to help carry each other's crosses, okay?
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
I'm just going to assume that everybody is subpar and sensitive, okay? Is that it?
You call me sensitive again, I'll get in the fucking car down there right now.
I'm talking about the rest of the people that you and I have. So be nicer to people than you should treat them.
So every time you like before you speak, just tell yourself this. Remind yourself of your goal. That's all you have to do.
Okay.
All right. Be good. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Jesus, that was hard to get through. Fuck. Oh my God, bro. You guys let me know what you think about that shit. Cats and dogs. Not even cats and dogs, man. It's like it's what two animals hate each other more than cats and dogs? Because cats and dogs, they be getting along sometimes. A lot of the time, shit. Man, these two, oil and water, man. Holy shit. You got logic, and then you got the absolute opposite of that. Trying to go head to head and have a conversation. It's never going to work. You have a logical person and you have an emotional driven person. It's never going to work, ever. And Sarah Boone is the biggest emotion-filled ball of stress you've ever seen. out here in these YouTube streets, man. But I'm going to see you guys real soon. You already know the vibes. I appreciate y'all for coming out. This was a longer episode than I expected. So shit, give it a like, give it a hype. Everybody stay good out there. I'm going to see you soon. Peace.